lost in the constant little bitty videos about Geno Smith's mistakes is the fact that this was his best statistical game of the season. In fact, from a perspective of completion percentage, at 74%, it was his best. He only had one interception. And sure, he had the miss in the end zone, but you can make an argument that that play should have been called. Let's take a look at some of the things that Geno Smith did well that we're not talking about and should talk about. For example, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Geno makes sure he gets everybody set correctly. Make sure the mic man is pointed out with the center. Takes 2 steps and gets the completion. All right? And that was a great play to call. For all my criticisms regarding Chip Kelly's offense, that was a good short pass play. I don't agree with the lack of a movement or shake route, but my point is there's been an effort to make Geno Smith more efficient within the scheme, and that's telling. But take a look at this, folks. Geno Smith was 29 of 39, 74.4% completion percentage, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, 10.3%. He had 1 interception, and ultimately his passer rating was 117.9. Now look, that was the best in completion percentage the entire season. It was the 2nd highest rated game of the entire season. His best was 132.7, and that was in a loss to the Commanders and put up 41 points against the Raiders' defense. So the fact of the matter is this. Hey everybody, here is that Geno Smith long wind-up throw that the defensive back reads and intercepts the pass. Watch. This is 2nd down and 8, 3rd quarter. Motion, and then 1, 2, 3. Now take a look, right? You see how he wound up? He put the ball back and it was just enough to, right there, see that? It's just that late because he wound up the ball rather than throwing it from his ear. He threw it back. You can see as he starts the pass. Here it is. Let's zoom in on him. He barks the signals right here. And then, okay, he should get rid of the ball now, but watch what happens with his arm. You see that? He went back like that and then threw it rather than throwing it. And he also didn't drive the ball. And on top of all that, the defensive back was so close it should have been thrown to begin with. And it's another stick route. So there's a number of problems with that play design that produced that interception. And the Raiders keep calling plays and designing plays like that. And then they wonder why they're not winning games. And that motion right down there, that's the problem. Rather than throwing it from his ear, he's throwing it back. And when he does it, it produces an interception. Because it's telegraphing to the defensive back, here comes the ball, and they go get it. Something else about this. Why don't the Raiders have special plays for 2-point conversions? They were too close to elect to throw this kind of pass as opposed to create a running play, some formation they don't normally use. Smith is a great quarterback in a system of questionable design. But it's clear that Chip Kelly and his staff are working at producing better game plans to get better out of Geno Smith. They need to work on his throwing motion, as I demonstrated. But you've got to admit, this contest showed great progress. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube.